Welcome back, Truth Seeker. In the headlines, another deadly tornado out of season. Here we are approaching winter. And again, devastating tornado in Clarksville, Tennessee. And Clarksville also had a devastating tornado January 22nd, 1999. And we're going to get to why it matters that this tornado came Saturday, December 9th, 44 days before the anniversary of that tornado in 99. We're also going to talk about what this tornado has to do with JFK's weather control speech that he gave September 25th, 1961. Because, yes, all of these things are related, and this is what America needs to wake up to. Instead of marching off to the football games every Saturday and Sunday and watching the rigged game, whether it's college or pro, we need to learn about what's actually been going on in this nation for the better part of the last century. That's how sad it is in America. Everyone's so focused on entertainment and has almost no idea about reality. And then when they're confronted with reality, they want to dismiss it and shoot down the truth speaker and call it tinfoil hat and all this crap, which is remaining ignorant and willfully ignorant, and this is why this keeps happening. What just happened here in Clarksville would not have happened had we shut down this federal government and this tyrannical military that most people are also marching along to in the same way they're marching into the football stadium. They're watching the games, they're getting pumped up on the military ads. They're not realizing what the United States of America really is, and it is an evil thing controlled by evil people. And for everyone who's going, oh, America's not evil, you better pull the blindfold off, because the people who are ruled over by these evil tyrants are becoming more and more evil with time, and that's why so few people care about things that matter, such as the admissions the military's made about weather control. And for all of you who cannot understand why the U.S. military would destroy its own cities, it's because you don't understand that the U.S. has never been a sovereign nation. It might have been for the blink of an eye at the founding, but it didn't last long, and it's been over since the capital moved to the Jesuit stronghold in Washington, D.C. And again, as we'll get to, as we've gotten to a billion times before, the first act of weather warfare in the world was admitted to in 1952, long time ago. That's the year my mom was born. August 15th, 52, on the Jesuit order's birthday. And once again, we'll see how the Jesuit fingerprints are all over this. And if you don't know who the Jesuits are, they're the ones the founders were worried about, who were in suppression when this country was being established. They're the military order of the Catholic Church that does rule over this nation. So let's go through it detail by detail. Notice the coordinates of Clarksville on the 87th meridian. We'll come back to it being on the 36th parallel as well, but you might recall how Selma got wasted at the beginning of this year in an 87 ritual. And we were talking about how the Selma to Montgomery march was 87 kilometers, and Selma got wiped out right before Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And you know where Clarksville is? It's in Montgomery County. So, in gematria, again, this is what you need to know if you don't know about it already. The Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. It goes back to Babylon. It's biblical. It's what the English language is built on. It's the best kept secret about the English language that we don't learn about in our 13 years of slave school while we pledge to 13 stripes and overlooking all the numerical rituals that are taking place around us day after day. But 87 is a big tornado number. So here's Clarksville. They get smashed with this out-of-season tornado. And again, in gematria, tornado equals 87. Now, the day this happened, Saturday, December 9th, it was the kill date for the month. And if you don't know what the kill date is, it's because you're brand new here. We've been talking about it every single month since Dick Gregory died. And it's been going on for a lot longer than since Dick Gregory died. It's just that's when it clicked in my head, and I've been teaching about it ever since. There's one day a month that has numerology of 64, 44, and 28. And sometimes that date will also have numerology as 17. And as you can see on the screen, the word kill in gematria equals 44 in the most simple cipher, which is just A, B, C is 1, 2, 3, just like how in that cipher tornado is 87. And again, this tornado in Clarksville is 44 days before the anniversary of the worst tornado that hit the town back in 99. Almost every single month, when the kill date happens, you can see the clear 44 ritual in addition to the date numerology. But when you run the alphabetic order forwards, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, you add up the letters of kill. So K is the 11th letter of the alphabet, I is the 9th, L's the 12th, L's the 12th. So you have 9 plus 11 plus 12 plus 12 is 44. If you take the alphabetic order with numerology, kill equals 17. So the difference is K is still the 11th letter, but the numerology of 11 is 1 plus 1 is 2. So K becomes worth 2 instead of 11. I is 9, so it's still 9. L, the 12th letter, becomes 1 plus 2 is 3. 12 becomes 1 plus 2 is 3, so L is 3. So you have 2 plus 9 plus 3 for kill, which is 17. The next two ciphers are just running the alphabetic order in reverse and running it in reverse with numerology. So Z is 1 back to A is 26. Same things. In reverse, kill is 64. In reverse numerology, kill is 28. And again, one day a month, you'll have this numerology. So for example, yesterday, December 9th, 2023, 12 plus 9 plus 20 plus 23, the date, equals 64. The shortened way, 12 plus 9 plus 23 is 44. The life lesson number is 12 plus 9 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3. And again, we didn't invent any of this stuff. All of this stuff's existed for longer than our lifetimes. I just started researching this because long ago I saw there was something definitely up with numbers and rituals, especially after 9/11, and then slowly put all the pieces together. And then over time, looking at it, discover things like, oh, wow, they're doing this when the date numerology is like this. They're doing something devastating in the world every time the kill date rolls around, undeniably. So again, like Dick Gregory's a comedian. It would blow your mind how many times we've talked about a comedian dead on the kill date. Comedian equals 44 and 64. But again, you become aware of this. You see also how there's extra layers to the ritual. Just like how Clarksville gets smashed 44 days before the anniversary of the worst tornado that ever hit the town. And if you're new here, look into HARP. HARP is military technology that has the power to influence the weather. I don't know if they used HARP on this. I'm sure HARP was admitted to, decades ago. I'm sure they have more sophisticated military technology now. But HARP, notice how HARP has that 44 and 28 encoded in its name, just like kill. Military equals 44 as well. You see how military is 107 and 109, just like Saturday is 107 and 109. Think about how the biggest military situation in the world right now began on October 7th, 107 in Israel. Israel is a lot like kill. It equals 44, 64, 28. Again, the founder of Zionism, Theodore Herzl, died at 44. 44 years for the establishment of Israel. With regards to military in 109, the Revolutionary War began on the 109th day of the year, April 19th, the same day in history that Ignatius Loyola became the first superior general of the Jesuits. Same day Oklahoma City blew up in a major ritual, as we've talked about so many times, as we went down to Oklahoma City and educated about on April 19th, 2022. And there were major consequences for that. But again, we're going to keep speaking out because people need to know. The consequences I receive and other people in this community for speaking out. So far, it hasn't been anything as bad as having a weather warfare tornado rip through our house. And again, that's why we do this work, to speak out for all the people who've been impacted the most greatly by this cabal, which is a lot of people all across the world. And most people are just asleep at the wheel, and they're going to chalk this one up to Mother Nature. And this was not Mother Nature that did this. These are the psychopath tyrants who kill at will and have ritual after ritual. They are a giant death cult, and they're a military cult, and they're a technology cult. And that's how they're able to achieve this, ritualistically day after day. So, again, just look at the gematria, and then here's the next piece. This happened on December 9th, right? 1/2/9 as we write it in the U.S. 129 is 201 in base 8 counting. And again, weather control. That's the phrase JFK used September 25th, 1961, when he talked about how the new technology emerging in the world, weather control, could be so beneficial to us, to ensure there's not droughts and famines, breakup storms. Again, I'm sure the world could be that way, but we have psychopaths who are in control of the technology. And instead of rather ensuring that tragedy doesn't happen, these people want tragedy because tragedy is beneficial to them. Now they can send a contract to their buddy, make him a little bit richer. He'll come in on the rebuilding Clarksville contract. The government's going to check out who gets those contracts for rebuilding. They're going to say, oh, we prefer them. There's a method to all of their madness. Destroy and rebuild, order out of chaos. This is the way these people work. And again, until America and the world, it's not just America. Again, what came to America didn't start here. But what's ruling over this country is ruling over a lot of places in the world. And until people wake up to it, they're going to continue to suffer the losses and tragedies like this that don't need to happen. They don't need to happen. And again, JFK gave the speech in 1961 about how, these types of things could be prevented with what was coming. Instead, they're doing it on purpose. But notice how weather control and the Jesuit order are the exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. And if you're new here, we talk about these numbers all the time with the Jesuits. There's a reason we're in the time of the first Jesuit Pope, and he's the first ever to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican, and that's Pope Francis, whose birthday is coming up December 17th, Saturnalia. But the one cipher where it's different, the reverse alphabetic order with numerology, weather control is 75. And notice, from the anniversary of JFK's speech, September 25th, to this destruction in Clarksville, December 9th, is 75 days later. And again, 75 is a whopper of a number. It has to do with why Israel's the 201 nation led by Mr. 177 Netanyahu right now. But Israel's 75 years old. And again, it goes beyond weather control. 75 is just this huge all-encompassing number to the New World Order, the Catholic Church, the Jesuits, the Order Out of Chaos Code. It's massive, and it's why the New York Times on a 75 date numerology back on October 6, 1940 said New World Order pledged to Jews, and the next thing you know, 83 years later, pretty much on the anniversary of that article, while Israel's 75, the seeds of World War III are popping off. But 75 days after the anniversary of JFK's speech in 1961. So that speech is 62 years old now. And this tornado was on the border of Kentucky. Just 2 years ago, Kentucky got smashed on December 10th, so we're almost on the anniversary of what happened in Kentucky not all that long ago. We'll go back and look at some other recent tornadoes we've covered in Tennessee, out of season. The weather control 201, go back to last year, June 13th, 2022, Wyoming. Wyoming got wasted with the crazy flooding that impacted the national parks, just unprecedented flooding. They said it was like a once in a 1,000-year flood. That was on the day leaving 201 days left in the year, and it happened near where Bill Gates, who is Mr. 201, William Henry Gates, who's writing all of his books about climate change. In fact, Gates' latest book on climate change is 201 pages long. And then the documentary on that same book, they retitled it for his little short series, and the title's 201. But where that flood happened in Wyoming, it's close to where he set up his experimental nuclear power plant that's supposed to save the world from climate change. Don't forget Gavin Newsom. He went against his pledge to end nuclear energy in California 201 days after his birthday, keeping alive the Diablo Canyon plant. And Diablo's the devil in Spanish, and we'll get to where that also fits in with what just went down with Clarksville. But again, the point is, if you're new here, we're talking about these patterns used in crazy Jesuit rituals, who are a military order, again, the Jesuits, that have influence over weather and a whole lot more. Pretty much everything going on in the world. Israel and beyond. Ukraine and beyond. COVID and beyond. Same numbers on everything. Literally. Not an exaggeration. Event 201, the coronavirus simulation. Put on by the Jesuit Klaus Schwab, whose name equals 177 like Netanyahu. Anyway, to go back to the 99 tornado in Clarksville, look at how it began at 4:18 in the morning. That's the 258th minute of the day. And look at this. If I write out number of the beast, it has gematria 258 and 87 where we began, just like how it's on the 87th meridian. Clarksville and tornado equals 87, right? That's where we started. Tornado 87, number of the beast 87, 258. Now the number of the beast is 666, and 666 is the 36th triangular number, and where's Clarksville again? It's on the 36th parallel. So again, as we point out so many times, these people are satanic, Everything they do is in tribute to Satan. That's what they're about. And this is happening in December this time. This is Satan month, right? They got all of America, even the Christians, celebrating Satan because they're all talking about Santa, the reshuffling of the word. But notice how December has the 44 as well, and 55, also like military. But again, December 55, Santa 55, Satan a reshuffling 55. Not an accident. And you see how Satan's also 35? 1225, the day that we celebrate Santa, 1225, the square root of 1225 is 35. 1225, the number, 1225, square root 35. So, again, just look at how perfect it all is. Over and over. Perfect rituals. These people are highly sophisticated. And look, is the average American person highly sophisticated? No, they can hardly count. They hardly know anything about anything. The average American doesn't know who their congressional representative is. They know almost nothing about current events. They know almost nothing about history. They cannot tell you when wars started. If I went out on the street and asked the average American when World War II happened, half of them would be guessing in the 1800s. But if I start asking about designer brands and cars and commercial products and what team LeBron James is on and who's the most famous quarterback in the NFL, they know all this information. You know, they're acing these tests. So realize the nation that's been built around you. You know, and realize your typical Christian who's never read the Bible but's going to worship Santa with their children on Christmas and not have a clue about anything that they're doing. Again, we're living in the tyrant's world, where this kind of stuff takes place every day and no one blinks an eye because no one has a clue. They don't know about the admissions of weather warfare in the time of Vietnam. They don't know about the Royal Air Force admitting to the Lynmouth flood, August 15th, 52. No idea about any of it. They think it's all conspiracy theory. They think it's time to go watch Patrick Mahomes because game time's about to kick off. Won't even talk about all the Satan rituals Mahomes has had with the sacrifices in his life as he passes Len Dawson the day of his fiance's dad just drops dead at the game. Nobody blinks an eye. Len Dawson dies 172 days before Mahomes wins his latest Super Bowl when Kansas City Chiefs is 172, like in Merum de Gloriam, the Jesuit motto. Anyhow, let's take it back up to the top. We talked about how Clarksville's on the 87th meridian. We just talked about how it's on the 36th parallel where tornado fits in. Again, Clarksville's in Montgomery County. Again, at the beginning of this year, we were talking about how Selma got wasted right before the MLK holiday when MLK had the 87-kilometer march between Selma and Montgomery. And again, tornadoes 87, so is Martin, so is slavery. In this case, it was a predominantly black community that got smashed right before the MLK holiday. And Selma's also on the 87th meridian west. So, yeah, you can, the video. Actually, I don't know if the video is still up. We've lost several channels since the beginning of the year, and several videos taken down. But it might still be up. We definitely covered this at the start of the year, and the post is still up on my website, GematriaEffectNews, if you want to go back and read more about this. But I just wanted to point out the parallel with 87 and even the Montgomery piece, since now we're in Montgomery County. And recall the March 3rd Tennessee tornado of 2020. I remember we had a really good caller in this live stream, but this video is definitely gone because I've lost like every channel that I had since back in 2020. But again, 3-3. Gematria, tornado, with the alphabetic order of numerology. Instead of 87, when you apply numerology, tornado becomes 33, like the nickname Twister. Tennessee's also got the 137, the 33rd prime. So again, out-of-season tornado in Tennessee on 3-3. And they said it happened at about the 38th minute of the day, and then they reported afterwards that 38 people were missing. But if you're new here, words like death, murder, killing, RIP, they all equal 38. Again, murder by numbers. Let me see if I can pull up the post. The movie poster for Murder by Numbers, they code right into the poster the 3 and 8, like 38. And let's not forget what they did with Lisa Marie Presley at the beginning of the year, too. As soon as she was hospitalized, we put out the video on why she was going to be reported dead later that day and what it had to do with, remember what age she died at? Golden Globes 54, dead at 54, right after the Golden Globes happened, where her father, the man who portrayed her father, Elvis, won Best Actor. She died right after. And Elvis's first concert was in 54, and he recorded for Sun Record Studios, and Sun equals 54. And in alchemy, the sun is gold, so what's a Golden Globe? Is it not the sun? And then Lisa Marie Presley, associated with, that part of the country down south. She's dead as Selma's getting wrecked. They said Elvis made black music. She's dead right before the MLK holiday. Just like we were talking about with that new movie that the Obamas produced about the end of America and the racial tensions. If you haven't seen this movie that Netflix just put out on Friday, I just put up some short videos on it yesterday. You can check that out. But Julia Roberts, her birth hospital costs when she was born paid for by the MLK family, supposedly. She dated Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry just died on her birthday. The new movie she's in about the end of the world, racial tensions, the show Friends. It's just that movie that she's in that just premiered on Netflix Friday. It premiered in the world 3 days before Matthew Perry's death. And remember, with regards to the kill thing that we talked about, kill 44, 64, 28. Matthew Perry died on October 28th, the day leaving 64 days left in the year, 44 years after his first film credit with his dad in 1979. And Matthew Perry's also got the 64 kill to go with dying on the day leaving 64 days left in the year. Julia Roberts' birthday. And you know what? Maybe there's there's probably even something about it, because Barack Hussein Obama's 64 and Hope is 64 and 44, and Obama, number 44, ran on Hope and was elected 44 years after the Civil Rights Act of 64 when civil rights is 64. Anyhow, getting a little bit tangential, but all these things related. You learn this little Kabbalah code of gematria, you'll see right through what the Kabbalah's doing each day. Oh yeah. This tornado that wrecked Tennessee was on Super Tuesday, so it was a big voting day, voting in tornado. I was also part of it. It was near Nashville. This tornado in Clarksville's, not too far from Nashville. It's also in the ballpark. But yeah, they had to tell you that the tornado was at the 38th minute of the day, and then they had to tell you that 38 people were missing. And again, this is how you can just see that what the news reports, it's nothing but Kabbalah. And you become aware of this, you just see that's what the news is doing to you each day. It's not like somebody went out there and investigated the town and found out, 38 people are missing. They're just making up numbers that fit the Kabbalah code, and this is how they plan and plot their rituals too. 38 is the number of death. That's why troops, for example, were first deployed to Vietnam on March 8th, 3-8, a date that can be written 38 or 83 like murder. And again, the song Murder by Numbers did come out in 83. Over and over. It's why the nation's murder department, the Pentagon's on the 38th parallel north in D.C., and it's also why Pentagon equals 38. And, the same psychopaths who deployed the troops to Vietnam on 3-8, they're the same ones who, put the X on the map for Clarksville yesterday. So, just look at these. Here we go. 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago, Kentucky governor says at least 64 are dead. Where do you think the Kentucky governor got that number from? At least 64 dead. And this was the news on December 11th, 2021, which was the kill date that year. He's got to say at least 64 people dead on the kill date. Now, this year on the 64 date numerology, you have this tornado in Clarksville, which is right on the border of Kentucky. Same things. Just reading the teleprompter, Money changers behind the teleprompter, puppet politicians just reading off the teleprompter that the money changer Kabbalists, are putting down for them. Here, just read from this. Yeah, same number again. 38, 64. Hey, put a 44 in there. The Goyums, they don't have a clue. Look at them at 7-Eleven eating up all of our Goyum products. No clue. Look at them worship Patrick Mahomes. They don't know how good of a script we've been writing for this Mahomes guy. So, anyway. That's the latest truth seeker on the kill date. And actually, I'll show you. I'll show you some other things that stood out to me about the kill date. Just reading through the death list on Wikipedia. You had an actress at age 24, a woman, a 24-year-old woman, dropped dead from a heart attack on the kill date. It's funny how that's only been happening in the post-event 201 era. Don't forget who warned you about that before it even happened. Shout out to Nathan. He says comedians and the Dick Gregory thing. Even the death of Patrice O'Neal, 11/29/2011, had 44 and 17 date numerology. Also, he was 41 years old, which means he was in his 42nd year of life. And again, Patrice O'Neal was, again, just somebody who went against the grain, who spoke out against, the programming of society and the indoctrination of society and everybody just like, being on their marching orders. So yeah, Patrice O'Neal was a valuable voice in society, someone on the world stage, an entertainer that had a message that was decent, and that's just not tolerated by the cabal, Yeah, R.I.P. to Patrice O'Neal. We've talked about that in the past. I have an old post on his death. Travis Scott sells watch for $201,000 and 153 days from his birthday. Again, Order of Illuminati's 201, like the Jesuit order is 201. Jesuit order without the thes 153, like the Illuminati's 153. So yeah, just another big pattern. And here, let me see. Travis Scott watch 201,000. Let me see what comes up. 3 days ago, the watch will retail for 201,000. That's just like how the Masonic Lodge behind the Oklahoma City Federal Building that blew up in a big 201 ritual, how it sold for 201,000. Once upon a time, you could get a building for that much. Now you can get a watch. Okay. Good eyes, Amy, as always. Appreciate that. And Davin says, when Bengals QB number 6 won Monday, they got the 666 shot in after game decision back of his helmet number 6 right next to their updated 6-6 record. And yeah, Cincinnati upset Jacksonville to become 6-6. And again, learn your gematria. We had a real good hunch that they could upset. We knew them with the points seemed like a very safe way to play it. Cincinnati 66, and so was Jacksonville Jaguars. So why not upset them to become 6-6 in the rigged NFL? NFL and Jewish gematria is 66 because it's the 11th triangular number, and football is a game of 11 and 11, and that's why the first Super Bowl season was in the 66 season. Big number with the NFL. And if you want to know more about the NBA in-season tournament that played out last night, man, we got laser vision for where this ritual is going. We saw it coming before it happened. Oh, man. I'd like to share it with you, but again, got to keep some stuff exclusive for the people on Patreon who do support the work. Thank you to all who do. I wish more people did. If more people supported the work, hey, maybe we would have stopped, the latest weather warfare. Again, we can't stop this. For all you guys who think it can't be stopped, you guys have a loser defeatist attitude, which is something that's been installed in you by the cabal to make you feel puny and small and irrelevant, and that's how a lot of you go through life. You feel like you're puny, small, and irrelevant. You can't make a difference. The world's too big. The cabal's too powerful. They've programmed this loser mindset in you, and that's why you don't help out with anything. You just sit on the sidelines like a spectator. You're also part of the problem for all of you listening, who I'm summing up exactly how you are. You better change your mindset, otherwise you're going to continue to be part of the problem. You should be speaking out, doing everything in your power. You should be supporting the real leaders in this world, the real people who brought knowledge and information that could change the world that just hasn't gotten on a big enough stage yet. All of you who don't help out with that, again, you're part of the problem. It's just funny looking back at these other headlines alongside the weather warfare. Do you remember the massive 666 ritual with the Omicron strain? Can't even talk about it. It's medical misinformation. It's like, it's not medical misinformation to point out the massive 666 ritual that's true. Just like how they declared the pandemic 666 days after their first COVID simulation, Clade X, which was 2 years to the day of Donald Trump, the Orange Oompa Loompa, declaring Operation Warp Speed. Think about all the people that think Trump is the truth, and when Trump comes back, things will get better. Think about how much mind control you have to be under to think that Jesuit clown, when he comes back, is going to help anything. When he was in office, were the worst days in America's life. It was the least America ever was, and it was all predictable. Donald Trump said he'd like to be a tyrant, and he'd like to censor things that go against him. He said all this when he was becoming president. The next thing you know, censorship's through the roof. Everyone is locked down. Tyrants are ruling over us. Other Jesuit tyrants who own him, who control him on puppet strings. It's crazy. Can you imagine having the mindset that you think Trump's going to come back and save America? When Trump was here, the country got shut down. We became under the rulership of Switzerland and the World Health Organization and what they said was going on. Donald Trump went along with the lockdowns and everything for the 99.9% survivable illness to everyone outside of age 80 plus dying in a nursing home. Remember when they locked down the nation over the deaths of people in a nursing home in Seattle? Where Bill Gates is, where Costco is, where Amazon is, where all the companies that grew their profit share tremendously? Did you realize how much the companies out of Seattle where the first confirmed case of COVID was outside of China? Do you realize how much bigger and more powerful those companies got? People still can't see what's going on? Seattle, Washington, and gematria equals 68, like the year coronavirus was coined, like the year fentanyl was approved, like the year 911 was made the national emergency dialing code, like the year World Trade Center construction began in New York. Anyway. Oh yeah, here's what I wanted to show you. I just wanted to show you some of the deaths in 2023 on the kill date. I tell you who gets it the worst every year is on the kill date. If you really look at this list every month, whoa. They just cut down this list a lot since I looked at it like an hour ago. There were way more deaths on here. They took a whole bunch off. There was a 24-year-old Bollywood actress from a heart attack. Unless they moved it up here. Okay. They drastically cut down this list that Wikipedia had up. I looked at it about an hour ago when I was just starting to do my post this morning, but unless they moved it to a different date. They moved it to the day before it was on December 9th. There's not a lot of info, but I mean, just like realize young people. There were hardly ever heart attacks with women, first of all. There's been a lot more women having heart attacks of all ages in the post-event 201 era. But, I mean, had you ever heard of it in your life? A 24-year-old actress dead from a heart attack? I mean, it's just like children dead from heart attacks now. And again, most people just still not blinking an eye at anything, just in disbelief about everything. No, they wouldn't do that to us. It's like, what do you mean they wouldn't do that to us? The people that knock down towers in New York and blame it on man and cave and send young people off to die in wars for the next 20 years and drop bombs on brown people all over the Middle East that had nothing to do with anything. Again, the real mindset in America is it's like it should be illegal to sit around and just watch sports games and entertain yourself when you know nothing about nothing. Like, you have to have a level of understanding about what's going on in the world so you're an informed human being so you can actually help address the needs and concerns and problems of the world. Again, I mean, this whole idea of democracy. A democracy cannot work with an ignorant population. And I mean, is there any other way to describe the U.S. population other than ignorant? No. It's pathetic. So... All right, shout out also to Chimura. Said, yo, Zach, I've been trying to decode sports. I'm wondering, how do you figure out what is positive numbers versus negative numbers for a team? Here. All right. Again, you should join the Patreon, first of all, because I hardly charge anything and you can learn the knowledge. But just to go to last night's basketball game. All right, fine. So we really liked the Lakers to cover the spread last night, and they did. They were a 4.5-point favorite. We thought they'd win by at least 5, and they ended up winning by 14, which in numerology is 5. And look at the score. The Pacers lose to Los Angeles with 109. And again, you learn gematria, you'll just see this how the scores are every day. Los Angeles is 109. LA wins by 14. Anthony Davis drops 41. AD, they call him. A's the first letter, D's the fourth, 1-4. When you spell out 14 as a word, it's 41, right? But, and don't forget how Kobe, he did the Kobe after death shoe right after he retired, and then the year the Lakers got AD, he dies at age 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age, traveling from Catholic Mass, and Kobe Bryant's also 41. But look, we knew this, everything, all of this has to do with Kobe. So, Kobe's first championship was over Indiana, right? and that was in the Pacers' 33rd season. So Kobe's 33, Bird is 33, who's from Indiana, Magic's 33, the Bird-Magic rivalry, Knight is 33, Bobby Knight, who coached at Indiana. So this is why we felt very confident that the Lakers would cover the 4.5-point spread last night. Both of these teams came into this in-season tournament 5-0, right? They were both 5-0. Indiana, right as this college basketball season was getting underway and the NBA season, Bob Knight, the Indiana basketball coach, died. He's 5th all-time in wins, and he died 5 days before the start of the college basketball season. Of course, basketball's 5-on-5. So Kobe, who went on to win 5 championships, he got his first over Indiana, right? And again, the Pacers' 33rd season, like we talked about. Kobe's 5th championship, how many years ago was that won? Oh, it was won 14 years ago. So the Lakers, we already knew this whole thing was about Kobe and his history, because they keep doing stuff with the Lakers and Kobe ever since his death. Just like how LeBron won his first championship with the Lakers exactly 41 weeks after his birthday, on the nose, on Father-Daughter Day, after the death of Kobe at age 41. And remember, the only reason they were playing at that part, the only reason that ritual was even possible was because of coronavirus, which is another thing from the cabal. Again, that restructured the NBA season, just like how coronavirus restructured the baseball season, which set up the ritual for Chadwick Boseman to die on the makeshift Jackie Robinson Day, but also Jack Kirby's birthday, the author of Black Panther. And then the Dodgers went on to the World Series, which we also called before that season began, just smashing everything left and right from this knowledge. But anyhow, 14 years ago, Kobe won his 5th championship. Yesterday, who won the Heisman yesterday? Number 5 for LSU, and LSU wears the same colors as the Lakers, the purple and gold. And of course, Shaq went to LSU, and he was on that team with Kobe when they beat Indiana. Again, all of this stuff is rigged and scripted together. So, how do you call the games correctly? Having the knowledge, having the awareness of history, figuring out what they're doing with the ritual. It's research. It's number recognition, but it's also understanding the story in the ritual. And we were locked into what they were doing. That's why we felt very good about the Pacers upsetting Milwaukee on December 7th to make it to the finals, because whose birthday was it on December 7th when the Pacers advanced to this championship? Well, it was Larry Bird's birthday. You know, Larry Bird from Indiana. So, and the 123-point win, you know what 1, 2, 3 is, right? They're counting. They're counting. It's ritual, but it's also the conspiracy number 1, 2, 3. So, here, let me look at the rest of the box score. Oh, by the way, you know, if you went back to my notes from December 7th, before the Pacers advanced over the Bucks and before the Lakers advanced over the Pelicans, I said why it would make sense for the Pacers to get to 12-8 in that game. And not only did they get to 12-8, realize the records didn't update last night because last night's game didn't count towards the season. It just counted for this in-season tournament. And by the way, the winning team, every player got $500,000. But the Pacers, when they became 12-8, they won with 128 points, too, and Magic Johnson's 128. On Bird's birthday, when Bird and Magic, the rivalry going back to 79. Again, they say without Bird and Magic, the NBA might have folded. You know, if for all you younger people, if you don't know about Bird and Magic, again, they're the reason the NBA blew up into the brand it is and is now celebrated the way it is. Back then, it was baseball and football. You know, NBA was kind of like an afterthought. And really, the NBA should still be an afterthought. It's the most trash pro sports league. They're all trash because they're all rigged, but the NBA is like easily, without a doubt, the biggest trash sports league on the face of the earth right now. It's just complete crap. Technology to ensure outcomes, no defense, just total trash. And LeBron being celebrated, just another trash athlete that deserves no recognition, disappeared all throughout his career. How can anyone compare him to Jordan? His record in the finals is 4-6. Not to mention we called how he would become 4-6 right before Biden would become number 46 in the election 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday. Just like how when LeBron won his first championship with the Cavs on the real King James's birthday, they had Trump in the building right after doing his GOP convention, perfectly synced with inauguration date. Again, all this stuff is rigged and scripted together. But hold on, let me look at the rest of the box score. I want to see what they did with LeBron last night. LeBron scored 24. How about that? And next year, 2024, is going to be 24 years since Kobe won his first championship, who finished his career with number 24. Nice. And also, we could get into the UNLV shooting and where it fits in because they had this little tournament in Vegas. But yeah, that's also part of what they did with the UNLV shooting. So save that one for later. We already kind of discussed it in the videos we did on UNLV. But yeah, from your weather to your sports game, same Jesuit cabal controlling it all. And for all you guys who can't wrap your mind around it, it's because you got a little pea brain that's also the product of the cabal. From eating the shit food you've been putting in your mouth your whole life that the cabal put on the shelves for you, nice and packaged, full of poisons and chemicals and things in the food that you can't even understand what they are. You don't even care. It just tastes good, so you're putting it in your mouth, chemically poisoning yourself, making your body ill and weak, your mind ill and weak. Again, there's a reason why everybody's on such a low vibration. Trash in the mouth, not enough sleep, nothing but entertainment, no reading, all screens, all entertainment, no knowledge. Again, this is why we are where we are. So, oh, look, in the news, more Taylor Swift. And I don't, God, Taylor Swift. Just the other day they had a story about how the word of the year is Swifty. Remember, Taylor Allison Swift equals 104, and it's the 104th NFL season, and she's all connected to Travis Kelce. Again, just all this propaganda they put out there. The whole nation knows about Taylor Swift, and why. It's like, why is there such a craze about this person? Are they that musically talented? Nothing I've heard is impressive. I've never heard a Taylor Swift song, and I'm like, oh, this is a really great song. Not once. You know? I've been walking through Portland, Oregon, my hometown, when they're having the Riverfront Music Festival. I've heard 5 different bands in an evening that all sound way more impressive than Taylor Swift. If the cabal would have chosen to make them super famous, I'm sure people would like them even more than Taylor Swift. Just people, everyone just marching along to what they're told to do. Here, like this, believe this, go out and get this jabbed into your body. It's like nobody has a brain, an independent brain. Here, why is this CNN's cover story? A police officer's death has torn this Boston suburb apart. Here, let me explain to you why Boston is the front story today. Today is December 10th. Again, everything they give you every day is just nothing but themed news by a Kabbalistic numerical code. Today is the first of the last 22 days of the year, right? And remember, Boston equals 22. You see how Satanic equals 22 as well? And hold on. I want to make a point about this, because if you go back to last year, on December 29th, 2022, they were saying how they were having like the biggest Satanic festival in the history of Satanic festivals in Boston. And that was the day Netanyahu came back, right? Who's the leader of the synagogue of Satan in Israel. And he is, if you think that's some like slider, no, that's what he is. He's the leader of the synagogue of Satan in Israel. That's who Netanyahu is. That's the character he plays, and that's why all the rituals are so perfect. But you see how Boston is 85-22? What day did the war pop off in Israel? October 7th, the day leaving 85 days left in the year, exactly 282 days after Benjamin Netanyahu came back, which was the same day as that festival. Benjamin Netanyahu, 282. Came back on 12/29. The day of the high ritual in Boston. So, again, I'm not saying Boston's satanic, but obviously there's people there that are aware of the code, and that's the reason they have their satanic celebrations. But I'm not saying because you're in Boston, you're satanic. You see how Satanic's also 50 and 122? So was San Francisco on the 122nd meridian. Where was the Church of San Francisco founded? Or the Church of Satan was founded in San Francisco, I mean. San Francisco 49ers used to be 5-0 in Super Bowls, hosted Super Bowl 50. But yeah, you learn this code and you see what they're doing. From San Francisco to Boston to Israel. To why this, I mean, who cares about this story? Like, where in the world is this story relevant? Why do we care as a nation about a Boston suburb who's up in arms over some guy? Again, literally every police officer deserves the same fate. And I mean that with all the offense you can take out of it. Because any cop who signs up to have authority over the citizenry and enforce all these bullshit laws that go against freedom and uphold the rules of tyrants, again, you all deserve to perish. So anyone up in arms over the death of a police officer is a loser by default who doesn't appreciate freedom or what America should be. America wasn't founded with police officers. When this nation began, there weren't police. There was self-governance, the right to bear arms, you know? The expectation that you'd be a decent human being, but if somebody came at you, then you have the right to defend yourself. Now, if you have a problem in this world, what do the cops usually do? Nothing. Nothing. You ever had a serious problem in this world? Cops don't do nothing. They don't do anything. They show up way after the fact. Imagine in a world where you could protect yourself. A lot of problems would be solved. There'd be a lot less shitty people out running around on the streets making mayhem for others that the police won't do anything about. They would have got smoked a long time ago. And that would have been right and justified. So, anyway, some Boston trash story about some cop. Again, you know it should be front page news every day? Gematria. Getting the knowledge of gematria out. That's what, if we had a real news, they would be getting it out because they'd be like, you know what? You need to be an informed citizenry. You are ruled over by a cabal that practices Kabbalah every day. You need this knowledge. What is me studying the suburban community in Boston who's upset over the death of a cop? What's that do for me? It doesn't do anything. Totally worthless. Anthony Blinken. Remember how perfect the Israel ritual was synced with him? These are the real stories that should be up there. How your whole government's a fraud, a puppet show. They bought a house in France for $20,000 without seeing it. Here's what happened. Sounds like a reality TV show, not a news story that's going to help me raise my level of understanding about the world and what I need to know at this moment. And let's not forget, this is the same crap news network that was telling you weren't a man. Remember, they had Anderson Cooper who gets plugged in his butt on TV telling you you're not a man unless you've been jabbed. Get it? A guy likes to get jabbed in his own butthole, telling you you're not a man if you haven't been jabbed. As they go to commercial break, sponsored by Pfizer. Then they're back, another break, sponsored by Moderna. Man who gets plugged in the butthole. You're not a man. It's like, dude, here. As trash as all this news is, America, that's a news story I'd like to see. Anderson Cooper versus the Truth Seekers. This guy always talks real tough on TV. Let's have that town hall debate. Let's see Anderson Cooper with his pile of facts about COVID and all the shit he pushed versus me who got censored a million times for medical misinformation when I was nothing but right about everything, including when they'd wind down their bullshit pandemic. And for all you guys who don't know that, I do have books out there. Number Games, which came out in the middle of October, said why they'd wind down their bullshit pandemic as soon as the year of the tiger came. And that's exactly when they ended it, as soon as the year of the tiger came. And how do we know that? Because every celebrity posed with tiger imagery at the start of the pandemic to try and scare the populace. Oh, Pink almost lost her child from COVID. And then they got a picture of him in a big tiger jacket, and some other celebrities in his tiger coat and tiger t-shirt, and then everyone's watching Tiger King. Oh, Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods had to eat his master's dinner by himself because of COVID. That was another story. God. Shout out to Rick James, always gifting the memberships. I still don't know what that means, but thank you for doing it, Rick. I appreciate it. HD's Quality says Nets and Knicks became 12-9 on John Lennon's death anniversary, 1 month and 29 days after John Lennon's birthday. He died in New York. And, of course, John Lennon's death is foreshadowed in Rosemary's Baby. If you guys didn't know that, in Rosemary's Baby, there's a suicide in that movie. And when the suicide happens, it's right at the spot where John Lennon was shot. And if you look at the shot where the suicide happens, they have a Volkswagen Beetle parked right next to the dead person. And, of course, John Lennon, the Beetle. Predictive programming. John Lennon got shot with the .38. Gun calibers, 38s and 44s. Amawan says, Zach, you know LeBron reached 39,000 points 39 days before his 39th birthday a few weeks ago. And again, it's all biblical, right? Just like how they call him King James, who has the Bible named after him, 39 books in the Old Testament. Yeah, I appreciate that reminder. Thank you, Amawan. And shout out to 13 Serpents again. Always very generous. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. So, again, shout out to Nathan, Amy at Crack Their Code. Again, Nathan, this channel right here, he has a YouTube channel, always uploading good information. If you want to search out disambiguation 144, not the easiest word to spell. Disambig you at ION 144. Don't worry, he's not a Jesuit. He just uses the number because we're always talking about its relevance. And then shout out to Amy, who's also got her YouTube channel at Crack Their Code. And she also has a website, cracktheircode.org. So if I'm not sure if anybody else is doing YouTube content, but I know those two definitely are. So if you want to give them a sub, they deserve more attention. And yeah, I think we'll leave it there for now, True Seeker. Shout out to D26 Creates. He's got a YouTube channel. And he's a busy college student, so. But if you guys haven't been to his channel, check out his channel. He's got some great short videos for people who are new to gematria. His videos are highly effective. This person says, please settle down. It's not healthy. And again, for this troll right here, remember, it's no sign of health to be well-adjusted to a profoundly sick society. People should be outraged. I'm like the actor in Network. You know, first you got to get mad. Except at the same time, my trolls will take that clip and be like, oh, he's an actor. But this isn't an act. No, that's why we're here every day speaking out, trying to wake people up to the tyranny before it gets even worse. Isn't it so nice that the Obamas just put out a new movie about the destruction of America? About the nation being taken down with a cyber attack, just like how when Obama was in office, Janet Napolitano was the head of Department of Homeland Security, and when she stepped down, she said the next 9/11 is not if but when, and it's the national power grid being taken down by a cyber attack. His first movie's about that. You think that's an accident? Woo, man. All right, yeah, we'll leave it there for now, True Seeker. I'll probably be back because the day's young, and who knows what else they're going to do on this Sunday. Let me see. Let me make sure there's no other headlines I need to be covering right now. MIT Harvard leaders feel heat after UPenn boots president over Capitol Hill meltdown. Shout out to oh my God, why is your name escaping me right now? Oh no. Who is our friend in New York City who brought all the audio equipment out for us when we were speaking there last year? His name is just going right. I do not know why I can't think of his name. But he recently went to the campus in New York where supposedly there's all this hubbub about anti-Semitism, and he just went around and just interviewed all the students, and everyone's like, I haven't really seen it. Just like nothing's going on there. The news just manufacturing all this hysteria. Again, you turn off the TV, there's no pandemic. There's no fear of terrorists blowing you up every day. You just turn off the TV and the screens, you get rid of this cabal, all these things in the world that they want everyone to be scared of 24/7, 365, they just suddenly don't exist anymore. And those are facts. Again, those are facts. All of these things are being manufactured. And you just wonder what else about history. I'm pretty sure all the history we know has been manufactured, going right back to that Bible that they want everyone to believe in or else. So. Okay. Yeah, I don't even want to get into those stories. What's the other trash cable news network up to? Slow Joe. Let's not ignore the real reason Democrats struggle with white working class voters. It's because Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Oh, man. Yeah. Anyway. You go to the BBC, their news is usually our news. Looks like today they might be. Alex Jones returns to X with Andrew Tate repost. Again, all the fake woke people. They think Alex Jones is the truth. They think Donald Trump's the truth. They think Elon Musk is the truth. They think Andrew Tate's the truth. All of these people who are puppets who will lead you absolutely nowhere. They're just here to make a buck off you. That's all they'll ever do. Lie to you, shill. And all they're in it for is their own wealth and fame. Period. End of discussion. Think about how many times he's shown the Alex Jones rituals by the numbers. When did he post? Did he post today or yesterday? I guess the easiest way to look this up is Alex Jones' Twitter page. We'll just see when the post time is. Oh, he's reposting things. Okay. Breaking exclusive. Alex Jones interview in 2 hours on X. Hold on. I gotta look at why they're doing this today. And his first post was earlier today, in the middle of the night. But on December 10th. Okay. Remember, Alex Jones is doing all these nice rituals with Sandy Hook. We're coming up just on the Sandy Hook anniversary. It's 4 days from now. So it'll be on a Thursday. Remember, everything Sandy Hook's 112. Jones's birthday can be written 11/2. Let's see this ritual. I might have to just stop and do a bigger decode and see why Alex Jones, he went out by the numbers, so why is he returning today? It's 302 days after his birthday, or his 303rd day of his age. That means his upcoming birthday is in 63 days. Span of 64. Yeah, I'm going to look into this more. He went out in a big ritual by the numbers. No doubt the return today, there's something symbolic about it. But yeah, Alex Jones, just it's amazing that he has any credibility with anyone. I mean, you got to be brain dead. The guy used to speak about how bought and sold the political system was, but then he's telling everyone to vote for Trump in 2016, the biggest Jesuit puppet there ever was. Yeah, I'm going to do some thinking on that. Why is Alex Jones back today? What was it, 2018 that he supposedly got banned? I think it was August 6th. He got 86th on 8/6. Oh, yeah, no, so the next line is about how his claims against Sandy Hook. And again, he is coming back right before the Sandy Hook anniversary. It's going to be the 11th anniversary already. That's crazy. Yeah, it was 2018. I do believe it was August 6th that he got 86th, if I do recall. So it's been 5 years and change since he used the platform. Hold up, just from that August 6th anniversary. It's 126 days from that anniversary, or a span of 127. I'll look more into this Alex Jones thing. I have to do some deeper thinking on it. There's something going on there. So, all right. Again, we'll leave it there for now. No, he's not Bill Hicks. This has to go. Alex Jones is not Bill Hicks. Anytime you say that Alex Jones is Bill Hicks, it's just disrespect to Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks was a decent human being. I mean, go back and actually listen to the things that Bill Hicks did. Bill Hicks was right about the world. Bill Hicks' message was right. 1,000,000% correct, and it grows more true by the day. Alex Jones has always... Bill Hicks is taller than Alex Jones. He'd look a lot older. Again, the whole Bill Hicks as Alex Jones is just... It's more crap in the truth community that so many people regurgitate that just... It really makes us look dumb as a community. No, Alex Jones is not Bill Hicks. Oh, but they had the same connection through Kevin Booth or whatever that guy's name is. Who cares? That guy's in the entertainment world. He had connections to other people too. That's not proof of anything. So, Alex Jones, shorter than Bill Hicks. And yeah, I've seen the images where they look similar. How about look at the images where they look like totally different people? Like, how about at the same time that they were both alive, when Bill Hicks looked entirely different than Alex Jones? Again, if you say Alex Jones is Bill Hicks, it means you're a poor researcher who doesn't know who Bill Hicks was, who doesn't know what Bill Hicks' message was. It's crap. And the people who promote that are like the Russian vids of the world who you don't know their faces. That's like what his whole channel's dedicated to. He comes back after 2 years not posting, and his first video back is Bill Hicks is Alex Jones. It's just like, no. Just like the earth's not flat, Bill Hicks isn't Alex Jones, the Bible's not the ultimate truth. There's people in the truth community that those are their truths, the things that they just talk about all the time. Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. The earth is flat. Jesus is coming back. It's like, you guys aren't part of the truth community. You guys are part of the Looney Tune, nonsense, moronic, whatever you want to call it, village of idiots. So, yeah, they're not the same person at all. If you think that, you are wrong. 1,000,000% wrong, and you can prove yourself 1,000,000% wrong by looking at what they both look like when they were both alive. Okay? There's no contest. They don't sound alike. They're not the same height. One is a piece of shit, Alex Jones. The other was a good person who had the 1,000,000% correct message. I can't stand when people say Alex Jones is Bill Hicks, because it's wrong to Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks is one of his funniest sets is Sane Man. If you've never seen Bill Hicks set Sane Man, go back and watch that, and then you'll also realize that he's not Alex Jones. Alex Jones has never been funny in his life. So, yeah, exactly. Bill Hicks is Bill Hicks. All right, we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. Till next time.